Hi ladies, coming to you today barefaced. I want to talk to you a little bit about the different options that Younique offers for foundation and concealer coverage, okay? So the first one I'm going to show you is our BB cream. And what BB stands for when you hear a BB cream or CC cream is color correcting is what CC means, but the BB cream is called Beauty Balm. And so basically what this is a tinted moisturizer. It has a built-in primer, moisturizer, and then your color. It comes in 5 different shades. Very, very good for people that have very, very dry skin. I would recommend this one. It does dry to more of a dewy finish. And so that would be our BB cream. And so again, that comes in 5 different shades. Most people are normally bisque or honey. Occasionally, if you're very fair skinned, you may be cream color. And then of course the darker skin shades, there's 2 darker colors than this as well. So again, that's our BB cream, minerally based tinted moisturizer basically. Quick and easy, fast. You can apply it with a blending bud. You can apply it with a foundation brush if you want, or a lot of people will just apply it with their fingers, and then if they want more of a matte finish, they'll apply a powder over the top of it. And then we come to our powder and our cream compacts that we have. And these all come in 13 shades, as it does with the rest of the products that I'm going to talk about. And so this is just your typical pressed powder. Comes with a little plastic lid on the top if you want to keep a sponge or something on there. Sorry, trying not to blind you. So basically this is just, I would say you can get as much as, medium coverage to full coverage depending on how many layers you apply. Better for normal to oily skin. And then we have the cream pressed powder, or cream compact that comes with a little sponge. Again, I love it that it has this little plastic lid so your sponge doesn't sit on your product. Comes with a mirror. And then this is just a cream version that you apply with a sponge. You can apply it either with a dry or a damp sponge. And with this is better for dry skin, and you can get a full coverage with this depending on how heavy you apply it. Then we have some new products that are coming out tomorrow. So I'll probably come back tomorrow, but we have some loose mineral loose mineral containers of product. These come in all 13 shades. I've seen amazing results from these, and so I'm going to come back tomorrow and show that to you. But the neat thing about these is you can toss them in your purse because they have a little stopper in the lid, and then the powder is underneath this little mesh screen almost, and so you tap your brush in. This one is best using, this is a great brush to use. It's got a smaller end for your concealer and then a larger end for the powder, and it fits right there in the center. So I'll come back and talk about these tomorrow because I just ordered them. I don't even have them in stock yet. So the one I'm going to talk about today is our liquid to powder foundation, and this is the one that went viral. Very, very popular foundation. Again, comes in 13 shades. It's serum-like. It has a photo blurring property to it, so when you put it on, it makes your skin look the fine lines are not accentuated because it's such a light foundation that it doesn't settle into fine lines or wrinkles. There's no line at your neck because it blends so beautifully with your skin color, and it's got a brown algae, and so it's going to help the overall skin texture and look to your skin as you wear it. And so basically with this, I've already applied a little bit of our primer, about a pea-sized amount. I put it all over my face, and I do that and then let it soak in for about 5 minutes. And then with these, because they're mineral based, the minerals are going to be heavier and they will settle as they sit. So I always shake them really good before I use them each time. And then I also open up the dropper and squeeze out what's in the dropper so that also gets mixed in well with the rest of the foundation. And then there's a few different brushes you can use. You can use the one that you would use with the powder if you want. And then there's a powder puff brush that you can use with it. And then we have a liquid foundation brush. It has a scoop out in the middle, but what I do is I ring my foundation around the outside. And so let me just show you. I don't know what it is, as I'm almost approaching 55, I'm starting to get these hormonal breakouts. Of course, I've got the I've got the brown patches and the discoloration to the bottom of my skin, and I just hereditarily have really dark circles underneath my eyes. And so basically, once I shake it up, I'm going to add about 4 or 5 drops to the ring or the rim of the outside of this brush. And so I'm just going to drop it on there. And the color I use is chiffon, and we do have a color match quiz that I can attach as well so that you can take that quiz, and it's really pretty accurate. So the rings, the foundation is there, the drops, and then what I start doing is I just start taking the product off in all the areas of my skin. And so I don't want to take it all off on one section, but I just take the dots off, and then I just start buffing with it. And I kind of buff first the areas that I want to cover more. And what happens is it's a serum, but it dries to a powder matte finish. And so as I buff it in, it's starting to dry. And I do it. Oh, my dog is deciding that he wants to go underneath my table, and he's knocking my tripod a little bit. So sorry for the jerkiness of the video. So as you can see, it's covering the dark spots, and then I bring it down on my neck, buff it in, and it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything on my skin. It's so lightweight that there really isn't that dark line. But as I start to buff, it dries just to this beautiful soft powder matte finish. And so I don't even find that I really have to add a lot of powder to the product afterwards, even though I'm probably more normal to oily in my skin. And so I would say that this product is probably best for normal to oily, but I do have customers that have more dry skin, and as long as they're doing a good job with their hydration, both in the evening and putting on a moisturizer underneath it, they're able to wear this product as well. And it comes in 13 different shades, really easy to color match. We've got that color match quiz, and then you can even send me a photo, a natural photo, natural light, no makeup, and we can get you the color match that you need. And so for the most part, it covered everything. That red blemish, I could go back and add another drop to that. And then I also go back and I do my concealer after I do my foundation. And so I could add just a little bit more to cover that red blemish. And then that one darn brown spot that I have there, that one's my nemesis too, so I usually have to add just a little bit more to that. But basically that is the coverage. It's so powdery soft. It feels so good on my skin. And then what I do is I use a concealer. So the concealer we have is more of like a paste type concealer. This little tube of concealer will last you, I would say, probably a good year of use, because you use just a tiny speck of the concealer. And so I can put just a tiny little speck of that concealer on the back of my hand, and I do that to kind of warm it up just a little bit. And then I use a concealer brush, or you can use your finger as well, and then I can go in and give a little bit more coverage to the areas that I need to cover. Those couple of little spots that I needed to cover, I can add just a little bit of a concealer over the top of that if I need to. And then for under my eyes, to conceal, I use a shade or two lighter than my concealer because I like a little bit more of a highlight. And so I'm just gonna put, let me see what I have here, put a little bit of that. And again, a little bit goes a long way. You don't wanna use a lot of this, or it will, it won't give you the results that you want using a lot. That's the beauty of it, that you just have to use a little bit. And by putting it on the back of your hand, it warms it up to your skin temperature. And then what I do is I take that concealer brush, put the product on that brush, and then I brush my concealer in kind of an upside down triangle. And that's great because a lot of times what you're seeing, that darkness, you're seeing the shadow of where there's a little bit of puffiness there. And so by dragging it down in an upside down triangle, then you're hiding that shadow as well. And it's better than just putting that little ring or moon underneath your eyes. And then I put a little bit in the corner. Betty, you're moving the table here. And then I put a tiny bit just under the brow just to accentuate my brow bone. You can put a little bit right here as well if you want to accentuate that area. And then you can use either a blending bud to blend this in once it warms to your skin temperature, but I normally just use my finger and kind of pat it. I don't swipe it because then I find that I swipe off most of the product. But if I just pat it in with my fingers and let it set, and then what I do, because again, I'm 55, and so I've got the fine lines underneath my eyes. And so what I do when I'm finished, once it's all blended like I want and there are no creases to it, then I just set it with a little bit of powder. And we do have an awesome setting powder. Currently it's out of stock, but any kind of a pressed powder or even the powdered foundation that we're getting in will set this, because the powdered foundation is just a really lightweight foundation, as is this is the setting powder, and so it's just a translucent powder. And so once I have that all how I want it underneath my eyes, I'll just tap in there, tap off the excess, and then I pat this on, and that basically sets that concealer, and then there's no creasing underneath. And again, these are all mineral based products, but it gives you just a really, really flawless finish. And it's just a great base to the rest of your makeup. And so anyway, those are the foundation options. Okay, so hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, I'm gonna post the quiz underneath this video so that you can take that quiz. And then you can even message me on the page with whatever, if you want to go a little bit further and send me a picture with bare skin, I can help you get the right shade for you. But again, these come in 13 different shades. This is our most popular foundation, went viral and it was out of stock for a long time, but all 13 shades are currently in stock. And then I would recommend some kind of a brush. This does not do well just applied with your fingers. And it does okay with a blending bud, but it really does better using some kind of a foundation brush, because buffing it in at the end is kind of what gives you that final finish. So anyway, hope that was helpful. We'll talk soon. Bye.